Hey you guys, what's up? It's your girl Punana, the plus size beauty, and y'all know what today is. It is She Is Plus Size Beauty Sundays, and today we have a special guest. I don't even want to introduce her yet until you guys get into the live. Y'all know what it is. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Sunday. I am having a wonderful Sunday. Usually you guys see me into my studio, but today I am in San Diego. Yes, your girl works and your girl travels, and y'all know what I do. Fashion model slash personality host slash social media influencer. And today we have a very special guest designer, Alani Taylor. Yes. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Sunday, and I hope that everybody's really just getting into a little bit of self-care. Get your drinks, get ready, get your popcorn, because today is a very special interview for She Is Plus Size Beauty Sundays. So let's see if we can go ahead and get our guests. We're gonna get her in here. All right. Let's go ahead and get our guest up in here, and we can invite her. All right. And into what we're going to do. Boom. All right. Woo. Oh, and we have our guest already, and she's here. Woo
How
woo.
you doing?
It's the wonderful, you guys. Welcome.
All right, I just want to make sure this sound is good, which just went away. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
Oh,
Got it.
crazy.
Are you going in and out on my end?
Okay, let me see what I can do now.
Just when you mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's good now?
Yes, we are
Okay,
good to go.
good. Oh my God. I am so honored. Thank you, Queen, for coming onto the platform. She is Plus Size Beauty Sundays. If everybody is just walking in today, I'm your girl Punana, the Plus Size Beauty. This is She is Plus Size Beauty Sundays, where we interview designers, influencers, and whatnot that is into the entertainment industry or fashion industry or anything that they do out here based in California, Los Angeles. Yes. So we have a special guest today, celebrity designer Alani Taylor.
Everybody calls me Alani Taylor. That's not my name.
And no, that's not her name. That's just
Yeah, it's like y'all be introducing
her
me.
name is Murph.
Yes.
Government name because some people don't like to say that, but her designer name is Alani Taylor, you guys, but everyone calls her Murph.
Yes, Alani Taylor is my 5-year-old daughter. So she has trust me, she can fill those shoes with the personality she got. So I want her to stay in her name and Murph stay in her name. But I get it. It is a person's name, so how people can get confused with it and all that. But yeah, Murph here.
Amazing. Okay, and Murph, tell them who you are, your hometown, and occupation.
Uh, Murph again. I was born in Newark, New Jersey, raised in the Bronx, and I'm a fashion designer. Yep.
New Jersey, amazing, in Bronx. So I know being in the Bronx, that was super hardcore, right?
No.
Oh,
No, everybody want us to say that. Like, I wouldn't say it wasn't worse than Jersey. Like, Jersey was way worse than living in the Bronx. But the Bronx, no, I think I probably saw like one killing my whole time being in the Bronx. But I was so much into sports and basketball and all of that stuff that I wasn't around that community. And everybody around my neighborhood wanted to see me win. So they definitely made sure my head was in the right place. And most of the time it was on the basketball court.
oh, that's amazing. You know what? I can relate to something like that because as soon as I tell people that I'm from Compton, they get this whole stereotypical of oh shit. They be like, oh shit. I'm like,
Right.
seen a lot of shit, and I'm like, yeah, but I wasn't really. I wouldn't really say like I was involved. Like, yeah, it was there, but that's amazing though. Like your story's different. Like I'm from the Bronx, and you like
Yeah.
really around. You know what y'all see on.
No, listen, do not mistake me. I went through hell raised in Newark, New Jersey. All my hell came from there. My peace literally came from when I grew up, well, started living in the Bronx or whatever. But yeah, my life was nowhere near easy in this world at all. Probably why I am the way that I am right now. But yeah, no, I love the Bronx. My family still lives in Newark, actually. I have a lot of cousins and my aunts and them still live there and all that. So I was just there a week ago or 2 weeks ago for my brother's birthday. Well, New York, New York. My mom's still in New York, so.
Oh, that's dope. That's actually dope. So it's like the commute. I really dig that. That's really bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Listening to your story because I'm a personal fan and I've been around like certain type of shows that you've done, and I will say, Queen, I'm very impressed to see your progress and what you've done so far. Like it's amazing. And
Thank you.
yes, and you said you formed a name from your beautiful daughter. That's amazing. It's like
Yeah,
throwing the crown onto the next generation, and I love
absolutely.
you're creating actually an empire for her. So kudos to that. Kudos to that. Kudos to that.
Yeah, Alani don't even understand, I promise you. I think she do, but she don't. Like my daughter is a character. So I think her graduation before she went to kindergarten, she of course I made her a custom outfit. I think a lot of people saw it on Instagram when I posted it. And she said in class to somebody, my name rings bells at 5 years old. She told them her name rings bells. So sometimes I feel like she understands it, and other times I don't. But yeah, I'm thankful and blessed to be able to say that when my daughter grows up, that she's growing up into a household name that holds a lot of value. And I'm also scared because she's a Taurus and she has that I'm the shit attitude, that she's gonna grow up and be uh a lot in this world with the name that she has, and understanding like this is my name and people wearing my name on their back and shit like that. Yeah, it's a scary thing.
It's yeah, I can relate because I have a shitload of like I don't have any children, but I worked around kids for like over 10 years. I have a shitload of nieces and nephews, and when I they have big personalities, they have big personalities, and not just you should see the notes
Yeah,
school. So I'm like,
right.
you can't go home. I think she told her teacher, like, she was like, oh, my auntie works a lot because, like, she has bills and things like that. Like, you just don't tell people that. Like,
Right, right.
Jesus Christ. So I can imagine, like, how big personality your daughter is. I know you'd be like,
Hmm.
all right, you can't say that in school.
I definitely don't. I'm the opposite parent. I let my daughter be who she is. One, because I know that her personality came naturally, and even when I try to correct her, I realize like this is just who this little girl is. She got it honestly. I didn't teach her this. I didn't teach her the shit that comes out of her mouth. So as long as she's not being actually, she telling facts. Her name do ring bells. So I'm not about to tell you not to say it. One, to me, that's like understanding your value at 5 years old. Of course, it wasn't disrespectful. So unless my daughter's disrespecting somebody, I allow her to be her. I do
Yeah,
not try to correct her personality. She's a big spirit. I don't try to dim that down. If she sings a lot, so my daughter can be in the grocery store, and if she's singing at the top of her lungs, I'm not telling her to be quiet, because that's what she loves to do. So I'm not that parent. I'll probably be the parent that they be like, could be quiet? No, I can't. That's who she is, man. So,
I love that. I like how you embrace her bubbly personality and her. That's all about being a parent.
mm-hmm. Yep.
My
Some people take away kids' dreams by trying to give them a certain type of discipline where it's like now they're almost scared to be who they are. And my daughter's mom was a singer too growing up, and she used to always tell me like her mom didn't encourage that. So for me as a parent, I'm like, if my daughter want to sing and the grocery store or wherever is quiet as hell, if it ain't the library, then sing your heart out, you know? So I always allow her to be whoever she want to be. If you feel like two shoes that don't match is your fashion, wear it. I'm a go against the grain person too. So go outside however you want to look and do your thing. That's how you felt. That was your energy today. If it looked crazy, you just got a crazy style. But nah, I let my daughter be fucking free because I would not want nobody to do that to me.
That is amazing. So learning who you are and who with your daughter is it warms my heart to see shit like that because knowing that there's parents that's creating an environment for young black children is amazing.
Absolutely.
So like when
Mm-hmm.
you start sewing, like when did that like because I know sewing because I have a couple friends that like they design and they sew. They always tell me they like it's a they was like, look, it's a passion, but sometimes they have to keep themselves entertained.
Absolutely.
They be
Yeah.
like, I'm watching TV and sewing. Like,
Yeah.
did you start?
Um, when did I start sewing? I started in the military. So I say it all the time. I was in the army for 12 years, and
Yeah,
my last duty station, which was Fort Hood, Texas, I I think my first year that I got there, of course, being from up north and being raised like around fashionable people, you know,
yeah,
Harlem was right there where like it's a competition. So I went to Fort Hood, which is one of the biggest military bases in the world, by the way. And they had one little ass mall in the town.
yeah.
And I would literally see people coming out the mall, going into the club with the mannequin, the full, like, give me that top and the bottom that's on the mannequin, that's fresh, I'm putting it on. No thoughts to themselves at all. And I could not do that shit. So I started teaching myself how to sew. I
Um,
started like making t-shirts, like even hats, like what I got on, which is probably
yeah.
damn near 10 years old. I started making t-shirts and like taking pockets off and stuff like that at first. And then the more every weekend that I would come home from duty or whatever, I would go to my sewing machine. And on the weekends is when I had the time and I would teach myself. My last deployment in 2014, I was with my daughter's mom at the time and I had her send my sewing machine over to Kuwait. And I
Mm.
would learn while I was deployed and everything. After we get off duty, I would sew to the point that I started like sewing my own sweatsuits because I didn't want to wear what all the other soldiers was wearing on the camp.
Oh, that's
And people started saying like, yo, where you get that from? And I'm like, bro, I made this shit. I still have pictures of it too. And so the soldiers started coming to me, asking me to make them sweatsuits because they didn't want to buy what was in the PX. And I started making money from it. And I'm like, yo, like this shit, I'm making more money than my rank at this point. And so it became a job before it became my fashion. It became a job because I was only like an E4 probably. So I wasn't making money like that in the army. So I realized like this can change my life. And I allowed it to become my second job at that point in time. 2016 is when it became my fashion when my daughter was born and I named it after her. But
mm,
yeah, the army is the reason why I started fashion. Well, I started sewing because I never looked at myself or thought I was going to go from teaching myself to sew to becoming a designer. I just wanted to look different than everybody else, which
that's
is
amazing.
crazy as hell.
And I just want to say thank you for your service, because
Absolutely.
family that come from the military, they served in the war, both wars. So amazing that you were doing that. And then it's just like the passion that you had that you were creating for other people that were in the military. Because, they're so strict based. But people that are into the military does have fashion, a lot of fashion sense. You know,
Mm.
that's actually pretty dope. You were creating your own lane. And I love it. I love it. Oh my
Thank
God.
you. Thank you.
That is amazing.
But are we gonna? Because one thing when I do get on lives and interviews, I do see people like asking questions and stuff, and I don't be wanting them to think that we're ignoring them. So just to tell you guys, we will. I have no problem answering y'all questions.
Oh, trust me, honey, because when I post
Yeah.
you, what I was going to tell you. When I post you, and I sometimes put on my story, like, if you have questions or comments that you want to ask the guests, my inbox blew the fuck up.
No, I appreciate it.
People were like, she got cut too early. And then just people that was following, career so far was just fascinating because one thing I will say, you stated this on the show, and I am like a living proof of this. You are a private person because when I was around you in your aura, like you would greet people, but you would stand there sometimes and just like observe people, but you really, really like everybody would be socializing. You would be like, hey, whatever, but you would be like just chilling. And I said, that's pretty dope. People, because most people who are sociable or in that type of industry are like chatterbox and they're like the life of the party. But you have like this whole like private aura where it's just like, hey, hey.
Yeah, man. I mean, because it's a gift and a curse, honestly. Because we ask for this life not knowing what comes with it sometimes. Well, let me not say we, because I did not ask for this life, but people ask for this life and not understand that when you ask to be in a spotlight or for somebody to acknowledge your gift worldwide, responsibility comes with that. And that means opening up your life to the people who you want to support you because they have to understand who they're getting behind. And that
Yeah,
has been a struggle for me because one, I never asked for this life. I still to this day, like I have to thank God and then ask him at the same time, like, how the fuck did I get here? I wanted to be a WNBA player. So sometimes I still have to take a step back and understand like you are here now and you need to embrace it and things like that. And you have to start letting people in to see who you truly are.
yeah,
But it is a struggle because I am such a private person. I'm a big energy person. So to bring people into my world, that energy has to fit. So I'm very guarded. And then it's also a military thing. Like when you deploy, you can't let up, like you always have to be on guard because you never know what's going to happen. And I kind of adapted that into my life. Of course, 12 years every day in the military, to where, yeah, that's just who I am. And I can inside, I probably want to talk to everybody, but on the outside, it's just like you have to be cautious sometimes because everybody don't want your best interests either. Like I was talking yesterday, like I don't want everybody to know me. I don't, because sometimes the wrong people know you, and that has a very big impact on your life. So
yeah.
yeah, that's I'm a private person.
I get it because being at the age that I am now, learning you got to protect your energy. You got to protect the people that you bring around into your
Yes.
circle. Because people are just not genuine, anymore. Like they're very vindictive, or sometimes they just want to use you. And my mother used to teach me that at a young age, but we don't really stick to that. We're like, oh, mom, you're just like bitching and like, what? No, sometimes your mama sees people for who they are before you see it.
Right.
So I understand how you're private, and now that you're coming up in this industry, it's very, very, it's very important to be careful
Yes.
who you bring around into your circle. Now we do, like somebody said on here, thank you so much for your service.
Absolutely.
Put that on the show, like somebody said, does your daughter enjoy fashion like you? I'm pretty sure she does.
No, my daughter enjoys her iPad. My daughter don't give a shit about what I'm doing right now. Sometimes she do. When she's bored and I'm working, she'll come and play with the needles. That's to the furthest she has gone, and play with like the measuring tape. But getting into fashion, I feel like she's still too young to understand what I'm really doing.
Yeah,
Um, but I can definitely see she cares about her image, which is, this is why I say this. I don't know where she came from. My daughter cares about her image. So I see her getting into that, and not necessarily getting into fashion because I'm doing it, but getting into it just for her own self-care and
yeah,
her presentation. You know what I'm saying? Like she don't care about what Murph is doing or what her mom is doing in this fashion industry. Like my daughter still thinks Beyonce is her cousin. So,
okay.
and not that Beyonce's wearing your dress, but she was like, that's my cousin. So
Oh,
yeah, I'm not in a rush for it. It's gonna come naturally and organically, and she'll just adapt to it, however she adapts to it. But she don't
that
care.
is hilarious. Now watching your style, you have an eclectic style that is so unique. but it transformed from like, you have a sense of back in the day that's like future wise that I love. What would you say your expertise in fashion is? And I want you to explain this because I feel like people didn't really get an aspect of who you were. They did, just a small aspect of you on the show. But if you watched Alani Taylor's career from the beginning, your style was so, it's a word that I'm looking for too. It's so eclectic and I loved it. It's like, what's your expertise into fashion and your aesthetic?
Somebody from another, yeah, I don't have an expertise, right? Listen, I literally just design what my heart feels at the time. If I want to look a certain way, then I go with that look. As far as my aesthetic, like obviously I have a gender neutral. I'm a black lesbian masculine woman to the outside, but inside I don't feel like I'm a masculine woman. So, but I design to make myself feel comfortable. Like I have a woman's shape, and I don't feel comfortable with like wearing certain clothes. So I needed to design the way Murph wanted to feel. So if I have hips like my mom, I don't want them shits to be shown. So I have to make a garment that's gonna hide that, still give me my masculine feel, but still make me feel like a woman at the same time, which is very hard to do. And so when there we go, I just answered it. That's my expertise. That's my expertise right there. Like making and it was an accident. I never tried to focus on masculine women or the LGBT community, but I have noticed that they are the ones that have gravitated to my clothing the most because it fits their lifestyle. Like a lot of like masculine women come up and be like, yo, like I finally found a designer that can hide my curves but not make me look so manly and
Yeah,
all of that. So I guess I'm becoming an expert in that area, and that is my genre. I don't design for any particular look. I love fall winter clothes, so I love to do layers. My favorite thing to design is jackets, obviously, and my drop crotch pants. But um, I just feel like I just do what the fuck I want, honestly. Like
exactly.
I'm not trying to follow the fashion trends. I'm not trying to go with the seasons. Whatever I feel like designing is what I'm gonna design. Like if it's summer and I'm designing a winter jacket, I don't give a shit. Like, and maybe that's why a lot of people love what I do because I and nothing that I do is ever duplicated. If you leave it up to the show, it is, but I've never duplicated anything before. And so I feel like I'm different in that area. And yeah, just the way that I put colors and patterns and shit like that together makes me different. And I try to do shit where I'm a Libra. So Libras, like, we are very like creative. We care about the way that we look and everything. So when I design, I'm designing to where if I step out today, somebody better look at me because this shit is fire. So every design that I do, I want you to step outside and not even have to try. My clothes will give you the confidence that you need for you not to say nothing, and heads are gonna turn. And that's really what I do.
I've known about your pieces. Shout out to the Libras because my brother Darrell is a Libra, and I swear to God, like he really does cares about what he puts on, and the nigga is like super. Excuse me for using the N word, you guys. Free, sorry, but he is so creative in all aspects when it comes to like music or just like dance. Libras are very creative, and to me, Libras is funny as hell. I'm sorry.
I hope so. Okay, Libra's in the building, October 7th. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey now, and somebody said, I love the chakra jersey. Chakra
Huh?
jersey. Somebody said, I love the jersey. And I was like, what is that? But
The
that's a name.
chakra jersey?
The chakra jersey.
Oh, the X Factor joint. Yes, 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 yes. That's built off of the chakras. I put them on the back purposely. So yeah, the X Factor yellow hoodie, it has chakras going down the spine in the back of it.
Amazing, amazing. So, oh my God, I will tell you this. When I found out that you were on the show, The Hype, I was like screaming into the phone and I was telling all my friends. And I was just like, yo, this designer is real hot, bro. I was like, she's on the fucking show, like the hype. And people were like, what's the hype? And I guess like when they did the promo for it, people,
Mm-hmm.
they were so super fucking excited. So even though you guys are probably still like contract or wherever it is, how was your experience on the show? Pros and cons.
Amazing. Oh
Amazing.
yes. Yeah. Yeah. No, it wasn't. Okay. um, I'm gonna try to explain without. Yeah. My pro on the show was being one, the platform that it gave me. I cannot take away from the platform that that show has given me. The designers I got to meet that I probably would have never crossed their path a day in my life because we're in two different places. I've built a relationship with a few of the designers that's gonna last forever,
Mm-hmm.
and I can never, like, you can't replace that, you know. So that part, meeting Speedy, of course, one of the realest people I've ever met, so he was definitely there for me outside of the cameras, with the cameras off and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the biggest part was the platform. Although my time was short for many different reasons, I people are now seeing Alani Taylor. You know, when I yelled Alani Taylor at the end when I was leaving, it's because I'm gonna leave my mark regardless of the fact. And people, because I did that, that's making people want to come and see. Okay, what else did she probably have to offer? You know, so my whole reason for going on the show was for people, one, because I'm such a private person, was to get them to be a part of my life without me having to force myself to do it. So other people were going to be able to show you who I was, what type of designer I am, my ups, my downs, my goods, my bads. And that's what my hopes were for. And unfortunately, that didn't happen. But I gained a lot from it. I gained a lot of new followers. I gained a lot of new eyes. People are starting to get up on who Alani Taylor is, what my brand is about, and things like that. So I'm thankful for it.
I'm amazed. That's amazing to hear. That is so like I just love it when Black excellence is just elevating on to like television and just people are noticing who you are. So like for your brand. So that's amazing.
Yeah, I
I
would say.
say this, and I know people probably don't think it's shade. People probably think it's like whatever, but I say what the fuck I mean because I'm like I being around the designers so long and just I just feel you were cut a little too early because your aesthetic was very much different from most of everybody on the show. And I just feel like they could have cut somebody else. Like,
Yeah,
that's no shade.
yeah,
Like, it is, but you brought a different type of flavor because moving on from the show, watching the other episodes, shout out to all the other designers. You guys are amazing. It was kind of seeing the same repetition over and over when it came to like design. Like it's easy to make bandana shit. It's easy to like, you know what I'm saying? I just wanted, I just knew the different flavor that you were gonna bring when it came to, you know, streetwear and like urban wear. And yeah, they could have cut somebody else.
I think that if I would have, I had no competition, honestly.
Uh,
Um,
uh,
Although one
yes,
thing, even though people see my aesthetic through my brand, one thing that I can say that I had over the other designers is that every designer had an aesthetic, right? But
yeah,
Murph was the designer that had all of y'all aesthetic all in one person. So everything that you can do, I can do. You can do, I can do. You know what I'm saying? Everything that everyone was on the show saying, I never did this, I don't know how to do it. I had that. I got a bachelor's degree in fashion design. So I
yeah,
knew that although yes, my first outfit, I didn't even like it, right? But yes, like you're saying, was that the outfit that should have went home? No, but you have to pay attention to the show on why Murph went home. No matter, this is probably the safest thing I could say. No matter what I made on that show, I was going home. Period.
because I because my heart fell out for you because I understand your mind wasn't like your brain wasn't focused that day. But I'm like, the producer should understand considering looking at the other episodes and people were just making some bullshit where it was just like, oh, okay, what? Like I was just like, what? Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, but you know, reality again, reality television and production and things like that. No shade, shout out to you know, HBO Max and Hype, but me personally, and somebody down here said, had a whole lot more to offer than some that was on the Hype. I feel like certain designers, and I'm not gonna say all, what they made was already done and it wasn't really considered as a streetwear, but like, it's just like I don't have the words for it, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
look, man, every one of those designers, the designers are dope as shit in their own way, you know? So, like, again, everybody does not like Murph's aesthetic. Everybody does not buy my clothes. Everybody has their own view of what fashion is. A lot of people have their own view of what streetwear is. Um, I I think that this show was to bring up the next big designer, right? Murph is already established. So it wouldn't, to me, even thinking about it, when I got on the show and I saw the people that was on the show, I don't even feel like me staying on that show would have been fair to the other designers because this is a show about discovering someone and giving another person a platform to make it big in this industry. I never needed help with that. I came here with that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So yes, I'm probably better than a lot of the designers that was on the show as far as like sewing and doing things like that. But how it turned out, everything happens for a reason. You know, the show was to give me a platform, and that's exactly what it did. And it was time for me to continue doing what I was doing because we were in two different rims. So for whoever wins the show, they deserve to win because that person probably needed that exposure and that opportunity way more than Murph did, you know. And I would never take God's blessing away from somebody else. Nothing, and none of this shit is by mistake. So whatever God had for me, whatever I needed to accomplish on that show in those 3 episodes, then I accomplished it, and it was time for me to move on. If you guys saw, I had no reaction to when they said it's time for you to go. I was about to miss my daughter's birthday being on that show. And I feel like God knew that would have tore me up because I said, if I'm not on this earth, that's the only time I would never be there. And because I was choosing to go this route, he helped me out and I couldn't complain. And I like literally, I was just like, you know, I'm just glad that I would be home for my daughter. And that's all I really cared about, you know? So I'm not, a lot of people was mad about me leaving the show. And of course, you guys wanted to see what I could do. But for me, it was like, my time is done. You know, it's the same way when we leave this earth. God put us here for a certain time. And when we leave, that he said, your job is done. So
Yeah.
my job was done with whatever I needed to do, whether it was to help somebody else on the show or get my help or show like you need to be more open because we about to blast your whole fucking life on the show, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I take it with my head high. And that's the only thing. I don't want people to keep DMing me talking about keep your head up. Like my shit never failed.
That's what
You know,
I did.
huh?
I explained that shit when you got cut. I said, well, she already has a platform. Like, it's not really like stop her moving forward. So I'm like, that was just, you know, it was another experience for you. I knew moving forward, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And my biggest question I really want to ask you is because seeing designers like you that are women, either whether it's men or women of color from the LGBT plus community, how does that feel being in the fashion industry? Because I think let's not get it fucked up. That community runs the fashion industry and runs the industry.
Absolutely.
But how does it feel to be a woman of color in there? And I ask this with so much passion because I get so many different responses. Because you know what it's like being from that community and how hard it works just for you guys to get your voice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I am in awe sometimes. Even with knowing, I think probably I still don't know the impact that I have on my community as
Mhm.
being not only from my community, but being a masculine Black woman in that community and getting to where I have gotten in the fashion industry where sometimes I still try to understand it, like, because I'm not in these streets and all of that. Like, so I really don't be knowing unless I get out there and people are telling me or DMing me and saying, like, yo, like, you give me hope. And knowing where I came from, where I didn't have that growing up, like, I was my pat myself on the back, my, like, I had to create my own resilience within myself, and to see that what I'm doing is helping other people, like, it is, it's humbling for one. It's humbling, and it gives me like that pride to understand, like, yo, like, you really doing some shit out here and impacting people's lives. Is it easy? Hell no. Because I still go through it till this day where I still have to fight, especially being a masculine woman. Men have these egos that they can't get past. And no matter how bad you want to be a part of what I'm doing, because I'm a woman, it's so hard for you to just intake that and be like, yo, like, you just dope as fuck. Like, let's rock, let's work together. And so sometimes I feel like that plays a big part in certain opportunities that I don't get when a man is in charge and he gets to make that decision. Like, no, like, you're not about to come and outshine me, bro. Like, stay your little ass over there or whatever. And that's why I create my own lanes.
You
And I
said,
never try to put
"Take your ass over there."
I never try to put myself in a position where people can dictate my future, you know? Like, even not the show. The show didn't dictate my future. You know, I chose to do that show. The show didn't choose to say, yo, like, well, obviously they chose me, but I chose to say, like, yeah, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't go to them, they came to me. And so I always try to put myself in a position where I control my narrative up to the show. That's
Yeah.
probably the only place I didn't control my narrative, because I was just as shocked as everybody else. But um no, I love it. Like, I thank God every day for it. I will continue to do my best to be a image for us, and not just for my community, but for Black women, Black
Yeah.
men, Black children, all of that. Like, I try to keep myself to a certain standard in my life to where people can look, because at the end of the day, it's not even just for you guys. I have a kid that looks at me.
Yeah.
So I have to be that powerful Black woman for my daughter, because my daughter is a Black little girl, and I'm talking about a Black chocolate little girl.
Oh my.
So she needs to know that she's beautiful and she's amazing and she can do whatever it is that she want to do in her life if she put her mind to it. But the only way she's going to clearly understand that is if I'm already walking in those shoes. So
Please.
um with the people that I impact, like, they help me be that person, you know, like, to know, no matter what in this industry, like, y'all can't tell me shit, because I got a whole army behind me that's ready to back me up and say, keep going, and we got your back, you know. So I can't lose with the people behind me.
You have such amazing, and speaking of people that have your back, like if you look at these comments, it says you make an amazing mentor. The Mrs. Hernandez said, Murph, your presence and your body of work demands respect, and I love that about you. And then we got Kayla. Oh, hey, boo. She said, our queens. So, oh my God, this is because the reason why I say that, like being a woman from that community, I've come, like, I'm from ballroom, and they talk about you on the show so much, how you were interested. I don't know if you ever been to a ball or if you have, oh, baby.
Well, when I was like 17, but probably not a real one.
Oh, baby. If you go to the LA ballroom scene, shout out to LA ballroom scene, shout out to you guys. They love your aesthetic. And that is probably
I
where you,
have no idea who this is, but now I want to know.
oh, baby, the LGBT community, the balls, where it's the houses and
Hmm.
Vogue and runway and fashion. Like that is where the categories, like they
Wow.
compete. You compete for money, compete for love and respect, but it's mainly like money. And you will be surprised how much they put into the work of like their effects, because sometimes the category comes from, they might say high fashion or high fashion urban streetwear. And sometimes we have celebrity judges and stuff come through, like shout out to Tiana Taylor, came
Let's
out
go.
her, like, you have to go to a ball, and
I'm
that,
here.
yes.
Sign me up.
I was sending you a, that is where your biggest fan base is. They really
Wow.
show me. It was amazing, baby. Yes.
I appreciate it.
That's crazy. You never heard about that. See? Like,
No.
she like, no. Oh my goodness.
I want to go now though. Sign me up. I'm there. I'm in LA all the freaking time, more than I want to be sometimes. So whenever y'all have something, I will definitely be there. Like I said, like y'all don't understand how much I do this shit, not only for my daughter, but for people like you guys that stand behind me and support me, because what
Mm-hmm.
we don't understand as business owners is that there is no business without y'all. So I have no choice but to give back to you guys just as much as y'all give back to me. So yeah, I'm here for it.
Because you're a private person, and it's something that I've seen, just seen it from looking from afar. Because I did go to one of your shows that was amazing. I believe it was way before COVID, and it
Night
was,
2019,
wasn't it the Zenith
the
experience?
Zenith. Yep.
Oh my,
Mm-hmm.
there we go. And I was there, and I didn't even know you were gonna be there because you had a couple of model colleagues that I knew that was walking for you. So I was super excited. Shout out to Kevin. Love you, Kevin.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, and Doc, and like everybody was like there, and it was like it was such an upscale experience. But to hear you on the mic, and then you were sharing your story, and then your beautiful daughter was there, I was already impressed from the clothes, and I was just like, oh, I was like, oh, she's really like a dope designer. And it was a few dope designers actually was there. Shout out to Nick Cannon, because I think like he was,
He was
you
the
know,
host for us.
host for that night. Like it was an amazing show. But because you're such a private person, and don't take this question personal, I ask every guest this: self care, because you're so private. What do you do for self care, or do you have like an active lifestyle? Like when you're just personal, like this is like what I do when everything is too much. This is what I do.
So I meditate. I meditate, I write. I have the 369 book that I write in, and just to manifest my goals and my dreams and aspirations and stuff like that. Because being in the military and the way that I grew up and all the things that I suffered from, like I grew up with depression and anxiety and tried to commit suicide numerous times as a young kid. So I had like a lot of these dark demons that I just didn't know how to get rid of until I finally said, like, God, you either get rid of this shit for me or I gotta go. And when I said I gotta go, I was literally talking about like killing myself, because
Oh,
I couldn't take the pain of like my childhood. Like and I don't care. I talk about it all the time. Like I was, from the time I grew up, I was molested from 2 years old to I was 16, by multiple different men. And so at like 7, I tried to commit suicide because I was just like, I know this is not my life, until like I literally, like my brain started registering that being molested every damn day was my life. And so I suffered from that. And going into the military, I looked at that as like, this would be my release. Like, okay, army fighting, all this, I can let it go. And it just made it worse. When I got out the army, I'm 37, I'll be 38 in October. And it took me until I was about 34 years old for me to understand, like, if I don't get rid of these things inside, mind you, my daughter's here now. If I don't get rid of these things inside, like I'm not gonna make it to my future. And
yeah,
when my daughter came, I knew that I wanted to be a better mother to her than my mom was able to be to me. And I had to get my shit together.
yeah,
So I started getting back into God and praying and things like that, and started meeting, like I would say, remove the things and the people that don't belong and replace them with the things that do. And he started bringing people in my life that was big into meditating and affirmations and crystals and the moon and things like that. And that became a part of my life. And from that, it cleansed my whole soul. So, like even using, this is probably the worst, but like how people start doing drugs and they want to chase that high. So they
Yeah.
keep getting high, keep getting high.
The
The
numbness.
meditating aspect, when I felt that and what meditation did to me, I kept chasing it to where it became like my lifestyle. Like I love that feeling of peace. And so after all the craziness and all the bullshit that happens in my life through fashion, I meditate, and every morning I wake up, I write in my book. So the 369 book I am like dedicated to right now, because you have to write in the morning, at night. I mean, in the morning, in the afternoon, and at night. And that's what I do. And it keeps me grounded because it forces you to only think about the positive things. So yeah, that's my cure to releasing. And then where I live, like I open my door and it's just like waterfall noises and stuff all day. So
Aw,
yeah.
amazing. That's amazing, and thank you for sharing your story because I too am, a victim of sexual assault. So my heart does go out to you, and I understand how that feels, and everybody in the world, keeping that inner strength and all, fighting those demons. But I do agree with you, dealing with your trauma, and you can't heal from that, because
Mm-hmm.
numbing the pain is the worst thing you can do. You have to confront it and deal with it, or it will deal with you, regardless.
Absolutely. It was fucking me up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, and now that I'm like older, I'm like, I'm so glad I healed from that, and that I can
Mhm.
just show love moving forward for my future relationships.
Right.
So it's amazing. But thank you so much for sharing your story. Now, collaborations. Wait, no. I'm sorry. Active. I know you sound like about your active lifestyle because you're so private. Like, but then you shared your story about your previous relationship. So are you like dating, or you
No.
just, I love being single and I'm just not like gonna mingle? Like you like you.
Uh, I was about I was about to say something else, but people would be like, no, my daughter is my priority.
That's
My
good.
daughter is my priority now. My business is my priority. I am not trying to. I just told somebody who was in my DM last night, like, I don't even know what dating is. I'm 37 years old and I don't think that I really understood the difference between like going on a date and dating someone. Like, what is, I don't understand it. So no, I'm good right now, man. I just need to stay to myself, for
I,
real. I just need to keep my peace. I have fun with people. Like I do like going out. I like being around people and things like that. But as far as the dating thing, yeah, I'm okay.
oh
I am
yeah,
okay.
especially in 2021. I mean, dating gives me a small anxiety. So I don't know what that shit is about, and I'm just like, like I just be like, So when I meet
Mm-hmm.
them, I'll be like, it's like this nerves like that comes up,
Yeah.
and now,
I think because my previous relationship, that we were both, a lot of people knew us both, and I've never been in a public relationship before like that.
Mhm.
And I feel like we shouldn't have never did that. Like, we shouldn't have went that soon into letting the world see us. And yeah, I would never do that
She said,
again.
I would never, like, oh my goodness. So,
Mm-mm.
oh my God, like, what would you like to see more because you're in the fashion industry? Because I see you around certain events and stuff, and you have amazing models that model your pieces and your designs. And what would you like to see more in the fashion industry? Like more of that they always be like, kind of like,
Of more of me, more masculine women. And again, I told you I create my own lane. I know Alani Taylor is gonna be a household name, like the Michael Costellos and the um all the big names. Like, I don't like saying the other people because they don't give a shit about us. So I don't even want to speak the labels. But
that's
big
true.
household names, we will be that. We are a household name right now, but I want my brand to be worldwide. And what I'm doing right now for the masculine looking woman, which most people call us like androgynous.
Okay. It's out. Sorry, I'm
Oh, you're
multitasking.
good. You're good. You're good. I be doing the same thing. I'm glad I'm here by myself, but I want to bring out, like I said, I told you, I am a masculine woman, but I still know I'm a woman at the same time. But I dress in certain clothes to feel comfortable. I am creating a fashion genre of, you know how like right now they have men getting comfortable wearing like skirts and dresses and things like that, but they are more like androgynous, but not even like a gay guy, but they're
Yeah,
trying to put like men. So that's never happened with us. So I am helping like masculine women feel comfortable wearing a skirt
yeah,
or a dress, but still in a masculine
yeah. Helping.
place. Like
Yeah, in there,
I
yeah.
I don't know if you saw when I put that like this actually
She
this
said,
thing on and I had a blazer on and I still have my bandana on and things like that. So I'm trying to create a genre
yeah,
for masculine women to still feel comfortable as a woman, but still look like high fashion at the same time. Because I think I never put a skirt on before, but when I did it, I was comfortable. Like any other time, you would feel like, yeah, this is this like for a chick, you know what I'm saying? But not still realizing you're a chick. So I'm like, yo, this is actually fucking dope. Like I'm wearing a dress and I look fly as shit. So now that gave me the mind of create a line like that for people like myself, for a masculine woman to go outside and wear, if she got on a dress, but you got on a blazer and some boots and some pants and shit like that. So I want to see more of that catering to people like myself.
and we want a different, diverse variety when it comes to fashion and just gender labels. That is amazing. So I know we're running out of time so much, you guys. So, oh my God. So last, I only have like two questions left for you guys because I can just sit here and talk to you all day, and I know you have so much to say. Moving forward, do you have any thing that's going on, like career goals and aspirations moving forward, like maybe in the next 2 to 3 months that you're going on?
Right now I'm working on my next collection for fall winter
Not
of next year called Accidental Chaos. Super dope collection is actually hanging up in front of me right now and it's so fire. I can't wait for that to come out. This is probably one of the first times that I'm gonna really have like um a line that looks like uniform because I don't do that shit. Like I when I design, I want you to go into a store and be like, don't none of this shit look the same. I want all of it. When you put colors and continue to repeat a color or a pattern, I feel like you gotta pick and choose between the pieces because you like this looks something similar to that one. And I'm still trying to stay with that in my brand, but bring like some type of cohesiveness, but still saying, yo, I want every last one of them pieces and it's
um,
coming along just great. And I can't wait to put it out. So I am scheduled right now to do New York Fashion Week. I'm just waiting on the confirmation on what days I'll be showcasing and things like that. I'm excited because I'll be headlining, and I'm working towards opening up a style house, but not like the ordinary style house that people may think of. With my business partner Richard Parker, who has the suit line that I designed for. So we're working on stuff like that. And yeah, man, just expanding the brand and doing some collabs with some of my fellow cast members from the show, The Hype, and moving forward and just staying great and giving y'all what y'all want.
Instagram is so funny. I swear to God. So last question, because Queen, it is so amazing talking to you. When you hear the word "she is plus size beauty," what exactly does that come to you with for mind? I ask every guest this.
A confident ass woman who don't give a shit about what people say.
You better know it. You better know.
Yep.
You better know it is a confident woman, honey.
My that's what my mom represents. My mom is a plus size woman and she owns her beauty, and I respect that so much about her that you can't tell her shit. Like she knows she fine as hell. My mom about to be 60 years old and I didn't even know. I was like, you bugging, because my mom looked like she's about 40 years old. So yeah.
Ooh, amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Shout out to your mama. Nice melanin skin. Doesn't age,
Mm-hmm.
honey. Knowing that you are the age that you are, you look amazing too. You look young as hell. I love that.
Gift and a curse, but thank you. I mean, it comes from my family genes, but it ain't always a good thing.
Yep.
Being older and looking younger, you got to continue to prove yourself, man.
Yeah, that is true. That is very much true. Oh my goodness. So Queen, it was such amazing talking to you. I can sit here and talk to you today about your brand. I just want to say thank you for coming on to the brand and congratulations for making New York Fashion Week. I cannot wait to see it.
Yeah, it's gonna
And
be fire.
so much and a wonderful Sunday and thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. I appreciate you.
Oh, no problem. I appreciate you coming on to the brand. It's been such amazing, you guys. Shout out to HBO Max, you guys. Shout out to Murph and her brand, Alani Taylor, all the amazing models. You guys, thank you for all the comments coming in, nothing but positivity. I just want to say thank you and thank you for coming on to She is Plus Size Beauty Sundays.
Yes.
Check you guys later.
Yes. Thank you, all of y'all who came in, tuned in, and listened to this crazy raspy voice.
No.
Nah, I love you guys, man, for real.
Trying to get it. Whew, okay.